Hi, my name is Lynn Askin from Best Pest Marketing. On this video, I want to give you a detailed overview and explanation of our program and show you how we can help you grow your pest control business. I want to show you exactly the steps that we would take if you were to hire us to help you get your business to the top of Google, bring you more leads, more phone calls, more clients, and more profits for your pest control business. Now, maybe you're here because you've attended one of our webinars, or maybe you've talked to other pest control operators that we've already helped significantly increase the number of leads and sales they're getting from the internet. But our mission is to help you increase your sales, improve your online reputation, drive more calls, leads, and profitability, and increase the amount of repeat and referral business that you're getting as a company. Now, for us, it starts with your website. And it doesn't matter if you already have a fantastic website or maybe you have one that needs a little work. But in either case, we're going to need to get into your website and either develop a new version of that website for you or just get into your existing site and make some improvements to help you turn your website into a lead-getting machine. Now, the reason that I say it starts with your website is that a typical pest control website consists of about 3 to 5 pages. Now, you've got a home page, about us page, an our services page, contact us page, and maybe a coupons page. But what we found in the pest control market is there's a lot of different services that you offer, and there's a lot of different cities and areas that you operate in. And if you want to rank on Google, Yahoo, and Bing, when someone is typing in those services in the areas that you serve, you have to have pages for each one of those services and each one of those markets. The fact is, there's a lot of different things that people are typing in the search engines to find your pest control service. I've got a brief list up here on the screen. Now, we're talking about things like termites, pest control, exterminator, fumigation, bed bug treatment, and a lot more. I give you just these keywords as an illustration because if you want to rank for all these different things in all the different cities that you operate, you really need to have pages for each one of these on your website, all with very unique content speaking specifically about that specific service. Now, there's a lot of different keyword combinations here, so you have to have a content strategy built into your website if you're going to really maximize your exposure to those keywords. So we need to get into the website, we'll develop those pages for you, and we'll optimize it so you can rank well in the search engines. As I was saying before, a typical pest control website has a home page, an about us page, our services page, a contact us page, and maybe a coupons page. Now, we really feel like an optimal pest control website has pages for at least every service that you offer and a page for every city or location that you operate in. Typically, a pest control company serves their customers in a 25 to 50 mile radius around their main location. So there's going to be an anchor city, which is your main base. But there's also additional cities and towns that you operate in as well. We want to build unique pages for each one of those cities for you. So when a potential client types in your city pest control, you can maximize your chances of ranking for that keyword. We also don't just want to have one page listing all of your services either. We want to have a specific page for each and every single service that you offer. Now, each and every one of these pages has to be absolutely unique and optimized for the search engines. So we optimize the title tag, the H1 tag, the body content, all for your key services or keywords for that particular page. The key here, and I can't stress this enough, this is where we see it done wrong so often, is those pages have to be unique. You have to write completely different, completely original content for each specific city and service. So that's one of the things that our team spends a lot of time doing. We write unique content for all your services and all of those cities and markets in which you operate. Now, once the website is built and we've got our content strategy in place, we've got pages for each one of your services and pages for each one of your cities, and all of that's unique and optimized correctly with the right title and H1 tags, the next step is to make sure that the website converts well. By convert well, I mean we want to make sure that when somebody gets to your website because of your marketing efforts, it is as compelling as possible to get them to take the very next step, which may be to pick up the phone and call your office or fill out an online form. So for us, it's certainly important for your pest control company to rank well in the search engines, but it's surely much more important that you're getting calls and you're getting leads and you're growing your business. So we take it much further than just search engine optimization. Some of the things we like to do from a conversion optimization perspective is we want to make sure that you have your phone number in the top right-hand corner of every page of your website. Now, there are a lot of different reasons that someone would come to your website, but one of the main reasons they would visit a pest control website is so they can call you. So we want to make that as easy as possible, and putting your phone number in the top right-hand corner of every page makes it easy for them to find your number and pick up their phone and call you. We also want to make sure that there's a web form on every single page of your website. This form is just a place where they can go and type their name and phone number and send you a quick email. So whether they landed on your pest control page or your bedbug treatment page or your home page or your termite services page, why make them take 3 extra steps to go to your About Us page or Contact Us page if they just want to contact you? So we make sure that every page on your website has an easy form for them to fill out to be able to contact you quickly. We also like to leverage the social media profiles on your website. We find that the more information that a potential client can get about you and about your company, the more they'll feel comfortable that you're authentic and that you're going to treat them right. The higher the probability is that they'll pick up the phone and they'll call your office. So we make sure it's easy for them to find you on social media. On your website, we also like to leverage authenticity. We like to use real pictures of the owner of your company, your staff, your office, your trucks, and your equipment. The more we can infuse the real personality of your company into the website, the more people will feel comfortable and the higher the conversion rate will be. And we've seen this happen time and time again. We'll take a generic vanilla website and we'll put pictures of real people on it, and the conversion rates will skyrocket. So if you drive 100 people to your website, you only get 1 call. Well, that's not great. That's a 1% click-to-call ratio. But by leveraging some of these strategies, we've been able to double, triple, or even 10 times that. So just getting the same 100 visitors, if we can get 10 people to call, that effectively has a 10x effect on your marketing efforts. So we want to spend a lot of time focusing on the conversion elements of your website to maximize your profitability and the effectiveness of all of your campaigns. So we make sure that we think about all these conversion elements on every page of your website. Now, the next really critical element from a conversion perspective is mobile website optimization. More and more people are getting to your website from their mobile devices. When a customer has an issue they want resolved right away, chances are they're going to pick up their phone or tablet or Android device. They're going to do a quick search. They're going to click on the first website they see, and they're going to give them a call. Now, if that website isn't mobile friendly, they'll likely hit the back button and click the next site in the list. So we're going to make sure you have a completely mobile optimized version of your website so your visitors can quickly get the information they need. They can tap a button and be dialing your office without having to copy down your number and redial from their phone. This is really essential. If you don't have a mobile friendly website, you are losing business. Now, the next really important piece of this equation is Google Maps optimization. Google Maps is one of the main places that people look when they need pest control services. Now, we talked about setting up your website, optimizing for the search engines, putting all the right elements in place for conversion. But what we need to do now is we have to make sure that you're ranking on the map in your market. There are really 3 core elements that go into getting ranked well in the Google Maps. The first is having a claimed and optimized Google Map listing. Now, we do that in Google My Business. There's some steps that we follow to make sure that we've claimed your listing and that it's optimized correctly. And of course, we follow Google's best practices. And there are little things that we do to make sure that Google knows exactly what your name, address, and phone number are so that you can rank well in the map listings. The second critical element for getting ranked in the Google Map is having good citations. A citation is basically any mention of your website, your name, your address, or phone number all across the web, whether a site links to you or not. So let me walk you through this scenario. When somebody types pest control company in the Google search engine, Google tries to determine who's going to be ranked in the first spot, who should be in the second spot, who should be in the third spot, and so on. And the truth is, Google wants to serve the most relevant and most authoritative companies. And so they're looking at things like how often your company is referenced, not just on Google, but on other places around the web. For example, are you listed on yp.com, or are you on Angie's List, or are you referenced on CitySearch or the bbb.org? Are you listed in your local Chamber of Commerce's website? There are hundreds of popular online directory listings, and the more Google finds you in those various places, the more authoritative they deem you to be. Now, we found that this has a major impact in how well you rank in the search results. As part of our process, we're going to make sure that you're in all of these major online directory listings with consistency of your name, address, and phone number. One of the big things that people tend to miss on this is they're in a lot of directories, but they've used tracking phone numbers, or they've used a different name or a different address or some different permutation of any of those three variables, including your name, address, and phone number. And when your name is inconsistent, what happens is you have fragmentation. So you might be in 100 online directories, but because you have 27 of this version of your name and phone number and 42 of this other version of your name and phone number, you just don't get the true value for that citation across the web. So we spend a lot of time finding and fixing that inconsistency and making sure that it's uniform so that you get the authority that you deserve. Now, the third critical element for getting ranked in the Google Map listings is online reviews. Now, you have to have online reviews from your real customers in your true service area. We found that companies that have more reviews obviously are more authoritative and rank better in the map listings. So we want to put a process in place to help you get real reviews from your real customers. We've developed what I feel is the ultimate review automation process, and it's a process that helps automate the way that you request reviews from your customers, gather reviews across the web, and post them in a centralized place on your website. It also notifies you anytime a review is posted so that you can stay on top of any possible negative reviews that you might receive. So I'll illustrate what this process is and how it works. We use a mobile app, and as your technicians go about their day, when they get to wherever the service is taking place, they would take out their iPhone or Android phone, they can snap a photo, type a quick description of the job they're performing, and click check-in. Now, once that check-in takes place, the GPS coordinates from your phone recognizes that it was in City A or City B or City C, and that content automatically posts back to your website. And what it does is it creates a heat map, giving Google a pretty strong indication of your true service area. There's also an option that you can cross-post these to Twitter and Facebook and get them going across your social media accounts. Then, after they've done this check-in and they perform the service, they can go back to their phone, they could type the customer's name and email address, click a button, and request a review. And an email that's already been queued up and it's already written and already ready to go will go out to the customer saying, "Thank you so much for choosing XYZ Pest Control. We really appreciate the opportunity to serve you, and I'd love it if you could just take a few minutes of your time to write us a review." Now, we found that customers respond with a 4-star review or higher 40% of the time when a technician makes the request personally right away. So if you've got a systematic process like this, where after every service call they're checking in, it creates unique content for those pages of the website, which gives it authority and helps it rank better. And if you're systematically requesting reviews after each service call, you'll get more real reviews from your real customers, which will help you get ranked better in the Google Map listings. I suppose you're wondering how you're going to keep track of which technicians are checking in and getting great reviews and which ones aren't. Well, actually, you're going to have a leaderboard that you can log into so you can see who's doing a great job for you and who may need a little bit of retraining. You may even want to create a contest or incentive so your technicians can compete on who can get the most 5-star reviews. The next piece of the online reputation management system is that we want to make sure that we're showcasing the online reviews that you get. And we actually can implement a tool that scours the web, goes to sites like Angie's List and City Search and YP and Google, and it creates a count of all of the online reviews that you have. So if you've got 13 on Angie's List and 17 on Google and 37 on some other source, there's a place on your website where all of these get counted and posted and showcases them so your customers can see them. And on your reviews page of your website, there will be a list of all the reviews that you receive as a company and what the source of that review is. And it creates a great way for your potential customers who may be on the fence, thinking about contacting you, to really get a sense that you are a solid company and see what all the other customers are saying about you. One of the neat things that we've implemented in this review automation process is we built in a filter. Now, you don't want the reviews page in your website to be showcasing a 2-star review or a 1-star review from a disgruntled customer. We want to showcase the positive. So our filtering gives us the ability to say if it's a 4-star review or higher, then we want that to be published on the website and we want it to be public. Now, if it's less than that, if it's 2 stars or 3 stars, well, we certainly want to know about it so we can go and fix the problem, but we don't necessarily want it publicized. And anytime you get an online review of 3 stars or less, you're going to get an email that says you've got a negative review. And our team's going to be there for you to help you map out how you address a negative review, how you should respond, what's your next step in order to minimize the impact of this negative review. And all of this works together to showcase the positive in a way that's not only going to improve your rankings on Google Maps, but it also really showcases the great feedback that you're getting as a company. Again, there's a dashboard built in where you're able to log into one centralized place and see all your reviews across the web, and you're able to respond right within the system if you wanted to. Now, we've talked about optimizing the website, getting the right content on the page, claiming and optimizing your Google Maps listings, and building citations and online reviews. Well, the next step of the process is to generate some inbound links. Now, inbound links are basically just other websites linking or pointing back to your website. This is where you really have to be an expert. Google's algorithm is constantly changing, and Google is now actively penalizing spam links. So if you've got links from websites that aren't legitimate or that aren't necessarily in your home-specific service area, those links will probably end up hurting you as opposed to helping you in terms of your online rankings. So as far as I'm concerned, it's the guy with the most quality inbound links that's going to win in your market. Now, as part of our process to help you build authority is to build some quality, relevant inbound links on a consistent basis. Now, there's a lot of things we can do to build links. There are directories and associations you belong to. There are social media profiles. You can typically get links from your local chamber of commerce or other local directories. But we're going to look for quality, relevant inbound links, and our team is going to build those so they get pointed back to your website, which ultimately is going to move not only your homepage up in the rankings, but also your termite page and your bedbug page and your commercial pest control page and your location pages on your website. All of those can move up in the search engine rankings with good inbound links. Now, one of the things that we do to really get quality inbound links is called competitive link acquisition. Now, anybody can go out and get themselves added to their local chamber site or maybe the National Pest Management Association website. Those things are pretty obvious. I mean, we're definitely going to take advantage of some low-hanging fruit. But sort of a ninja strategy is to start looking at the companies that rank really well in your market. Now, if you type in your city pest control or your city exterminator, there's going to be some certain companies that are ranking at the very top of search engines for all of those searches. Now, they're ranking there because they've got a really good website with quality content, relevant links, and citations. So there are tools that we have that we can use that'll tell us what links and citations they have that you don't. Now, if they're in the number one spot, they're there because they have lots of good quality inbound links. And we're going to be able to go in, develop a list of all the links pointing back to the guy in the first spot. And our team will systematically map those links and say, okay, which one of these links are currently pointing to their website? And how can we get those same or similar links pointing to yours? Now, this is a manual process. It's a slow process, but it's the right way to do it. And when we do that consistently, we create good content, drive quality, relevant inbound links, get online reviews consistently from our real customers. That's how we help you get a dominant position for the pest control-related services in your area. Now, the next piece of this puzzle is content. Once the website is set up and it's all structured correctly and you've got some quality inbound links coming in, you've got reputation management process in place, you still have to be updating the website on a consistent basis. Now, Google is an information-seeking mechanism, and the companies that have good relevant content being posted on a consistent basis are the ones that are winning the online marketing and search engine optimization battle. One of the things I like to say is that if you're not showing your website love, why should Google? So as part of our service, we're going to become your content development team. We have writers on staff that are going to write relevant content for your blog. Some examples might be, what do you do if you see termite damage? Or we might write an article on how to identify your area's poisonous snakes. Now, on a weekly basis, we're going to update your blog on your website We're going to write the content. We're going to optimize it so your website gets the proper authority and ultimately wins that online marketing battle. Now, another option we always like to implement for our clients is social media. Now, social media is obviously the big buzz right now, and it's really popular. You have Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest and Google Plus and LinkedIn and quite a few others. Now, there are literally millions and millions of users on these social media platforms. But when I talk to pest control clients about social media, I often get a blank stare. They wonder, how in the world does social media apply to me as a pest control company owner? And more specifically, how's it going to help me get more calls? And how am I going to use it to grow my business? The way I like to look at this is, if you just stop and think for a moment, you'll probably come to the quick realization that your number one source of business has been and always will be repeat and referral customers. You have customers that love you and they're referring to your friends and family and colleagues, and every pest control business should be built on that foundation. But think of social media as word of mouth on steroids, because social media gives you the opportunity to tap in even more of that repeat and referral business. Now, Facebook has 1.5 billion active users. The average Facebook customer has 135 friends, and each of them check in between 6 and 9 times a day. So if we can get a process in place to get your real customers that are using Facebook to press the like button on the content and on your website and on the blog post that you've created, they've given you exposure to their 135 friends. So if you're systematically putting out relevant updates on your Facebook profile that aren't obnoxious, but just help you remain in the top of mind with these people, there is the opportunity for them and each of their 135 friends to see you each and every time they log into Facebook. Now, we found this to be a really powerful strategy for driving more repeat and referral business. So our team can manage that social media process for you. And we're going to make sure that you have a properly set up Facebook, Twitter, Google+, LinkedIn, and YouTube profile. And our team's going to post updates to those social media channels on your behalf so that you know that you've got an active, vibrant social media strategy that's in place. Let's talk about some other paid online advertising opportunities. For our clients who choose our complete marketing system plan, our Google certified AdWords specialists are going to manage your online advertising campaigns in Google AdWords and Facebook. We'll set up remarketing and retargeting campaigns in both Facebook and Google that'll show your ads to people who have already visited your website. Now, this just helps to keep you top of mind. It's a very inexpensive way to remarket to those people you've already spent money advertising to. But for just a moment, let's talk about Google AdWords. Many of the clients we talk to have tried Google AdWords in the past and failed. The main reason that a Google AdWords campaign fails is because they're set up incorrectly and the campaigns are mismanaged. Now, we've seen them created with only one ad group. I've seen them created with no specific landing pages. I've seen them created by driving traffic to pages with no strong call to action. We've seen them set up to advertise the wrong keywords. Now, Google AdWords is complicated, but it's a very powerful advertising platform. It's often misunderstood. Now, the highest bid doesn't always equal the highest rankings. Google's main job is to deliver the most relevant results to the searcher, and your Google quality score is vital in determining exactly how much you pay per click. Now, quality score is determined by several factors, including your click-through rate, relevancy of your ads, your keywords, your historical performance, and of course, your landing pages. Now, a typical pest control site has terrible landing pages for pay-per-click, and it increases the amount that you actually have to pay for your ads. Now, I'm not going to bore you today with a bunch of math, but just know that if you look at this chart, which explains how Google determines how much you pay per click, the advertiser in the number one position is paying almost half of the amount that the number two advertiser is paying. Now, this is due to their very high quality score. And when you realize that we've already built near perfect landing pages on your site for your locations and your services, then you'll see that Google AdWords can be a very valuable tool in your online marketing arsenal. But the bottom line is this: the higher your quality score, the lower that you'll pay per click for the top positions. So we've created this amazing online marketing system for your pest control business, but it's really important for us that you can track the results of our efforts. So there are 3 core tracking mechanisms that we're going to put in place to help you really track and measure and quantify the work that we're doing for you. Now, the first is called Google Analytics. And Google Analytics is a piece of code that we stick on your website that gives us the ability to see how many people got to your website, what they typed to get there, how long they stayed, what they were looking at, and so on. Now, the key thing that we're looking for in Google Analytics, of course, is the number of people that are getting to your website on an ongoing basis. Now, this is a pretty critical part of the equation. Now, if we're doing all this stuff and we're doing it right, that number should always be on the rise. Now, the second thing that we put in place is a keyword tracking report. And what we do is we develop a list of about 100 keywords that we think are really relevant in your area, like pest control, exterminator, bed bugs. And what this report will do is it'll show you exactly where you rank on Google, Yahoo, and Bing for each of these keywords, and that report will be sent to you on a monthly basis. Now, the third critical tracking mechanism we like to put in place is called call tracking. It's basically setting up unique tracking numbers that we put on your website and in your online marketing campaigns, so that when somebody picks up the phone and calls your office, it rings your office just like it always does. But we have the ability to gauge how many calls are coming in as a direct result of each of your online marketing efforts. In addition, you can play back recordings of these conversations and help you quantify down to the call level and determine your true return on investment. So that's our process. We want to make sure we put all these strategies in place for you. We'll optimize your website for the search engines. We'll create all the right pages. We'll do all of the link building. We'll claim your online directory listings. We'll set up your online citations. We'll put a process in place to help you get online reviews on a consistent basis. We'll manage your blog. We'll manage your social media profiles. We'll put some tracking and measurement in place to really quantify the return on investment. And then from there, it's all about ongoing strategic planning. And our team of account managers and content developers are here to serve you. Now, this isn't a one-time set up and be done type of thing. We'll be having ongoing conversations monthly. We're going to recap what we've accomplished. We'll talk about where we're going, and we'll talk about what's next. Now, I will tell you, I can only work with one company in each major market, and our services are on a first-come, first-served basis. Now, the reason we do this is I feel like it would be a conflict of interest to build a business relationship with you in your market and then go to 3 or 4 or 5 of your competitors and offer to do the same. Now, we don't do business that way. But we will likely be working with one pest control operator in your area, and I truly hope it's you. So I encourage you, if you feel like this is a good fit and you feel like you would benefit from having our team and our strategy implemented on your behalf to help you grow your pest control business, I'd encourage you to call us right away. You can reach us at 1-866-207-2378 or fill out our application to work with us at bestpestmarketing.com/apply. I really appreciate your time, and I look forward to helping you take your pest control company to the next level.